A live look now at Jacksonville Beach. Red flags were flying today to warn people about rip currents and strong surf out there. And as we said, strong currents are being blamed for the death of a 19-year-old man who drowned at Jacksonville Beach over the weekend.
He's been identified as Tyler Smith. He is from Georgia, just south of Macon. He was swimming with two friends just after 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon when they were swept out by a current. The two friends made it back to shore. Smith did not. Lifeguards tried to find him to save him, but were too late. His body was found about 45 minutes later. A friend of Smith's spoke by phone with Channel 4's Heather Lee, who is joining us now live from Jacksonville Beach. Heather?
Well, Tom, it was a very upsetting phone call. Obviously, he is very hurt by the fact that his friend is gone. He was here that day with his friend out in the surf, and I can tell you that he didn't really want to say much more than that out of respect for his friend's family at this time. I can tell you, though, that we have seen a lot of surfers out here, not a whole lot of swimmers. The beach really hasn't been that busy today, but lifeguards say they are keeping a close eye on things.
Red flags are flying high, and you can see why. The surf is at 2 to 3 feet now. Eli Phillips says Jax Beach is seeing a groundswell, which means stronger and bigger waves coming in from farther away versus the normal wind swell, a dangerous difference that swimmers and surfers need to know.
We'll have a range of conditions the day or two before it reaches us. We might have some larger swell, but still offshore winds. Then when that storm's directly offshore, we get the largest of the swell and the strongest currents. When the wind is onshore, it's raining, it gets really big and really messy. It looks like a washing machine out there. You really can't see anything.
We're not there yet, but Phillips says it's always good to remind people what they could be up against before jumping in or paddling out. He says rip currents can be very spontaneous and can pop up in places they weren't before. But the warnings aren't stopping surfers yet. Wayne Satterwhite decided to hit the waves.
I've been around the ocean my whole life, so it all depends how much of a waterman you are. If you're inexperienced, I wouldn't probably go out there during this whole thing. But if you really love surfing, you do it your whole life, there's probably not many conditions that I probably would scare me out of the water in Florida, just because it's Florida, and I've been a few other places that the surf can get much larger.
Phillips says they are always riding up and down the beach looking for problem areas. Right now, they are in their off season, but he says they utilize the lifeguards they have, placing them in certain areas if need be.
Even though there's fewer numbers, we have better guards out there. They're more experienced with hurricanes and with larger surf and things like that.
You go out, make sure to bring a friend. Don't swim alone. Lifeguards say it's always a good idea to not go out too far, and you should always take into account your skill level when it comes to swimming. You can always contact the Jax Beach lifeguards and get a surf report before heading out. We're in the process of posting that info to our website, newsforjax.com. Another good reminder to people, if you see 2 red flags out here, that means that this beach is closed to swimmers. Right now, it's not at that point, but if conditions were to get worse throughout the week, it could get to that point, and city officials have the authority, again, to close the beach to swimmers. So you want to keep an eye out for those updates at the moment. For now, we're live. Heather Lee, Channel 4, the local station.